Hello there, it is Linda Stacy of Living Blueprints, and today I'm talking about personal branding in the workplace, something that I didn't know much about up till a few weeks ago, and then I was part of a presentation about all of this, and then last week I was exposed to kind of a different side of this, and I thought it was worth talking about here on the Living Blueprints channel. So again, my name is Linda Stacy. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, love it if you would like the video. It helps other people find it. And of course on YouTube, please subscribe. When I get to a certain number, I get to name that URL. So I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel as well. So personal branding. If you've had any exposure to this and what it means for employees in the workspace, I'd be really interested because I've heard it now from a couple of different sides. And I said that I heard just a few days ago about a different take on this, and I was in the audience of speakers, so we were kind of at a different place where maybe we are more intentional about what brand we're trying to bring into the world. So this can feel a little bit different, I think, for employees thinking, you know, is this even a thing for my role? Is it appropriate? Is it something I have to do? And I'd say no matter what, we're showing up as something. We are making an impression. So why not take whatever control or, be as intentional as possible as we can about whatever that impression is, even though we have to remember that who's seeing us and who's making assessments about who we are. Of course, they're seeing us through their own lenses too, but it doesn't mean that we can't be intentional about how we want to show up. So this weekend, the gentleman who was talking about style, visual identity, persona, feelings, and impact. So those 5 things as part of your personal brand: style, visual identity, maybe those 2 things kind of blend together. Persona, maybe your personality, what you bring into the workplace, who people see you as. Feelings and impact. And feelings and impact are kind of cool. Maya Angelou, I'm sure many of you have heard this quote, but she's quoted to have said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And I think this is really legitimate in the workplace, that how we're left feeling by people that we interact with, it impacts us. So how can we impart how we want other people to feel after they've had an interaction with us? So in my role, in my regular daytime job, I really see my role as empowering people, making them feel confident in the work that they're doing. And in a second, I'll link this back a little bit more. So I think that no matter what, if you can link whatever you do in your regular job, your key roles, to something that is who you are at your core, this will help to bring through whatever you want to be in terms of your brand, if you want to use that particular world. For me, I see myself as a helper at my core, as a teacher at my core. Teachers had tremendous impact on me. I know that when I was in high school, for example, I was in a geography class, and I was not doing very well. Sorry, it's not geography, geometry. I was in a geometry class, not doing that great. And partway through the semester, the teacher left because she was having a baby, and they brought in this much older teacher who actually my older siblings had. And once he started teaching, my grades accelerated. I started getting A's. The same thing happened for me when I was in advanced algebra and in trigonometry. When I had awesome teachers, I did well. When I did not do well. When I got to college, it was a very lecture-based environment. I did not do well initially in the math classes until I started going to the tutorial center where they actually taught it like they taught it back in high school, and I was actually able to learn. So for me, at my core, I am a teacher, I am a helper, and that's how I actually decided what I wanted to be in my real role in my job. And for many of you, you may have started with some kind of idea of who you wanted to be or what type of profession you wanted to have based on who you are at your core. And I'm sure that can come through in some way. When we did a presentation on this a few weeks ago, we had some breakout sessions, and one of the gentlemen shared that what he finds at his core is storytelling. So he told how he was in advertising, how he was an actor, and how now he's in knowledge management, and his job is to go in and pull out, to extract the narrative that the firm has created in our deliverables to our clients. So he sees that as a thread, a storytelling thread. So what's your thread? How do you help, either in a micro way, the immediate people that you help in your work environment, or how is your company helping the world in some bigger way? I mean, in my full-time role, I really feel like I am an ambassador for these associates who are looking for information on things that they've never even heard of, right? I mean, I may have looked for this same thing 30 times. They're looking for the first time. And how can I help them as best possible and keep me empowering them at the forefront, instead of, really, I have this question again, which can really come through if that's the way I'm feeling when I'm serving them. So I'd say consider the micro impact that you have on people in your day-to-day work experience. Again, I said that branding has to do with style, visual identity, persona, feelings, and impact. I think some of the style can even be in the way that you deliver email. How can you make it as helpful as possible for the other person to read it? What are they going through? How can you remove assumptions? Just make things as clear, make headings a certain way. All of this feeds into how we show up and how people perceive us in the workplace. And I think it's really, I think this is really important to make us feel empowered and confident in our own work and what we bring every day. So I'd say again, who are you at your core? And is this at all linked to what you do? Can you pull out something of the best that's who you are at your core? For me, I really feel like I'm a helper. And how do you bring this out on your work and help to bring impact, whether it's just to the individual you're having a conversation with or an interaction, or a greater impact down the line? How can you tie it to something bigger? And then as far as your style goes, again, this can just be in the way you communicate, the way you express, the way you line up those emails, the way you interpret responses from others. And really, just this is all just about being intentional in the workplace, so that you can have a freer, better experience of it all, more satisfying for you and your coworkers. So this is a little bit about what I've learned about personal branding in the workplace for people who have jobs, who aren't necessarily, trying to have a certain type of career with a personality or be an influencer or something like that. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. I hope you're having a great week. Again, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, love it if you would like the video if you found it helpful, and subscribe on YouTube, and take care of yourselves.